Good morning, everybody. We are going to do what's in bloom today. Today is December the 12th, Sunday, 2021, of course. And I have everything in the sunroom. It was about 45 early this morning, and then the sunroom, I looked at the temperature on my atomic clock. It was 52, which is really nice. And then now, of course, with the sun out, it's closer to probably 57 or 60 maybe even. I haven't checked recently, but it's definitely warm enough in here. So I brought 3 orchids out here from the kitchen window so that it would make it easier for me to film everything that's in bloom at one time instead of switching the camera off and back and forth. And the 3 that I brought out from the kitchen window are these 3. So I'm going to start with these 3 before I forget, since they're on the floor. This one you have seen many times, and it is so long lasting, the blooms. This is a mini dendrobium called Burana Doll No. 7. And you see that there's one bloom spike that's already spent, and there might be another couple here and there. But what's neat is that it keeps putting out more. See how this is a new one? And here's another new one, a couple more new ones somewhere here and there. The existing blooms have lasted for so long already. I'll have to look back on my previous videos to estimate how long it's last. I want to say 2 months already, maybe 3. Next one is this Brassivola Hybrid. It is, Brassivola Nodosa grandiflora. And it is slightly bigger than the little star. Let me bring this up here and see if we can compare. Remember, this little star is a much bigger plant, so we can't really compare, relatively speaking, but we can get an idea of the blooms, I guess. And from my perspective, it's slightly bigger, not much bigger. But if you accommodate or taking into account the size of this plant is small in comparison to this huge gigantic clump mounted up here, and much older too. So, and this third one is a long awaited for in bloom. I cannot wait to see what it looks like, judging by the fact that the bud is so deep color and a lot of purple to it. I'm hoping that it will be a nice deep purple. And I think the tag says it all. It says the color. Here it is. Well, maybe it doesn't say it all, but it does say there's a purple tint to it. It is a Patenera, Hisako, Akatsuka times BLC Edisto, Hawaii purple. And it is a very old orchid that I have. It was a back baby, and I've had it for so long now. I was thinking about throwing it away because I didn't think that it was ever going to bloom. And I've tried all sorts of things to get it to bloom, including giving it more sun. As you can see, sun damage here. Luckily, backed it off in time before the plant was killed. The leaves are very, very thick. It's nice. It's it feels succulent, but they're not very succulent. It's just very thick. All right, so let's be careful with that bud and not kick it by mistake. I'll push it closer in to the wall. Okay, and right here, this is Maikai Louis. It's very fragrant, loves morning sun. I have it in a neti pot in I believe bark, yes. But I plan to change most of this into clay pebble eventually. The next time that I will repot this, it will be going into clay pebble. In the last 2 years or so, I have changed everything almost to clay pebble. So this tells me that this plant has been in this pot for probably 3 years now. And it started out as a small, you know, not a very big clump. It's probably was maybe a third of its size, and now it's grown quite a bit. And this next one I'm going to do is a cousin of it. It's in a large basket, and you may have seen this featured with the other one, with the Maikai Louis in another video. It's not in its prime. It's, you know, last year it had so much bloom because of so many new growth on it. And this year I think it's extremely pot bound, and I do need to do something about that pot. It's a Vanda basket, and I do need to do something about it. Now, if you notice, there's some, let's see if I can focus in, there's some black rot on there that I need to cut out. My Brassivola hybrids tend to have some issues with rot towards this time of year. And I'm not sure what causes it, but I need to keep it inside and control the water, and control the timing of that water. It can not water in the evening or afternoon, or not letting rain get to it that late. It has to be in the morning and gets dried by afternoon, by the end of the day at least. So, okay, the next one I have is a little star. Let me see if I still have the tag. Yeah. So here's the tag of that orchid. A hybrid between Cordata Himamanu times Nodosa Mas Mejor. I keep calling it Nodosa, but it's Little Star. And it is, hold on a second, I gotta move this basket that's in my way. Okay. Let me see if and I've got pictures I'm going to insert in here of this orchid. It's because it's very difficult to get a good view of this since I'm in a tight spot here. But so you can see lots of blooms, but last year was the year that it was at its peak. All the old leaves are down here, and then all the new ones are up here. So the blooms were all over, but now it's just mostly up top this year. It's very fragrant. I haven't mounted on this bark, and it's been in this bark for a long time. And since it's gotten so big, I guess I'm not sure how I'm going to break it apart if I need to. Or I guess I'm not sure what most people do. Do you just leave it in the mound and just let it consume the mound? Because look how much roots are there in the back. Do you just leave it there and let it engulf itself practically? So I don't know what to do yet. I'm not sure what to do with such a large mound. Or I guess you could take this mound and put it on top of another mound. But then that makes this entire thing so much bigger again. So, or I guess I could break off some of the little bits that are sticking out and make a new plant out of it. We'll see. This one is Kachara Delight. A little thing I picked up for myself about a week or two ago at Lowe's. I saw it and I've always wanted one, and you've seen a video of the unboxing of my Carmela orchid video, the unboxing of that, maybe about a couple months ago. And I have a Pachara Delight, a tiny little one. In fact, let me get a shot of that. So I did see one a couple months ago, and it was a bigger one than this one, and I didn't get it. I don't know what I was thinking. Then this time I said if I see it again, for sure I'll get it, and I did see it, but it's not in the greatest shape. You see the roots, a lot of the roots must have been broken, but luckily it's not the main huge roots that are broken. I looked at the tips of them. They look like they just aren't green anymore, stopped growing because of maybe just too dry in the store, and it hadn't been watered. But it maybe just the little baby roots were the ones broken, the smaller roots. What's nice about this plant though is there were originally two bloom spike. One is deteriorating and never came to fruition, as you can see. The buds on it are dried up, and so is the bloom spike. But the other one is still going. When I got home with this from Lowe's, I went ahead and dumped it in a bucket of water right away for about 3 hours, so that it would get rehydrated, because I could see that the bloom buds were slightly wilted, and that soaking made a huge difference, because you can see that the blooms are nice and a little more turgid again. Judging from the fact that there's two bloom spikes, maybe next year, once I get it back in good health again, maybe I'll get two bloom spikes again. All right, next one is lime sherbet. I call it lime sherbet for short, but what it really is EPC lime sherbet, 4N times B Nodosa, 4N. So that makes it fairly big, 4Ns. It is, the blooms are very big for the size of the plant. And it's become more yellow as it ages. It started out lime color, and now it's deeper yellow. And I had it near my kitchen window on the outside of the house, and when the wind blew, since this pseudobulb is sticking out so far, it would hit the window. So unfortunately, all that hitting and that abrasion caused some of the blooms to break off. The next one I have in bud is this Vanda, my second Kulwadee. I'm sorry, I'm trying to be conscientious of how I say this correctly. Kulwadee. It's Kulwadee Fragrance, and it's I would say it's my favorite Vanda. Now, I did happen to see a Kulwadee Fragrance number 27 at Lowe's, and it looks so different from mine. It's darker, it's got darker blue, and I love mine. I don't know what number mine is. Apparently it's different, slightly different than the Kulwadee Fragrance that I see on the internet too when I Google the picture of this one. I haven't seen one like mine. Mine has a more pastel color, and I'll insert a picture of mine normally, what it looks like, because I have two of these, and a month or two ago, I have the other twin of this plant blooming. This next one is a Vanda, Varuth times Dr. Anek, okay? and it's really, really pretty. I've just got 2 more blooms left though. This next one back here, this next one is Royal Genting, and I have about 3 bloom spikes on it. So this Royal Genting, the Dendrobium Royal Genting right here, is very fragrant. It starts out slightly lime color, light green, and then it turns more yellow as it ages, as many light green orchids do. They do that. And it's very fragrant. It's just really nice to have. It's not a very pretty, large bloom, but it's lots of little mini clusters. So so it's bloomed twice now. It bloomed about early this summer, and now it's doing it again. The next one I have in bloom, and a very long-lasting, also blooming orchid, is this Doritis pulcharima. This is the main pot that I am keeping, and I have made divisions, probably 4 or 5 divisions now. Here's another division that I made, 2 of these that I will be giving away to some friends and family. This next one is a huge tomato cage pot in a tomato cage in pots of my Dendrobium phalaenopsis that have no IDs. A mixture of color. I was hoping that it would create a nice bouquet, and also very long lasting. These are water spots. This orchid was sitting near the pond underneath a vanda that I water often, and that's what happened. That's why these spots are here. And incidentally, this one is very fragrant. This particular one. Okay. All right, let's see. A new bloomer, which is with this yellow bird. Also very fragrant and nice long-lasting bloom. It tends to fade. So you see how it opens? The buds are, it starts out reddish, brownish red, brick color red. And as it opens, you see a lighter color petal. And the lip also is lighter color because it starts out like this in a darker tone, a reddish, more darker reddish tone, and it comes out yellow. And this has been open, I think, a week or so, maybe a little longer. So you see different stages of the bud. My ladybird has quite a bit of sun damage because I had it exposed to too much morning sun and some afternoon sun, because the shade cloth that I had, some of the area underneath the pond was not all covered. That's why I had a sheet on some of them to protect some of this late afternoon sun. So I need to get a larger shade cloth that covers more area, basically. The next one I have, and you have seen it in one of the shorts I made recently, the Chia Lin New City. So as you can imagine, being in here is just so aromatic and dreamy, I guess is the word. It makes you feel like you're in a flower shop. So pretty. I love the view from my living room, and just enjoying this every day. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Have a good day.